Like some 10 months ago, I showed you this ant queen that I found. I placed her into the ant nest and I never mentioned her again because she died after a few days. But thankfully I found two more queens that belong to so-called, forbidden ant species, and one that could be the same species as the one that died. This time I set them up in test tubes and let them develop, and the reason I didn't mention them before is because winter came quickly and they began their hibernation, which ended like a month ago, so now it's time to give them something bigger. And in this video I attempt to set up two different glass enclosures, one being a more naturalistic setup, but unfortunately the whole thing went south. And the enclosures that we are going to use will be my standard 20 by 20 by 20 cubes, just because I want to keep them together with the rest of the enclosures. But even though they aren't ideal for ants because they have front opening and this front lid is not that high, still with enough talcum powder I think it will be alright and that it will work. But because how convenient it will be for me, I'm pretty sure that it will be worthwhile to use them. For one enclosure I will use this artificial nest that is specifically designed for ants, while in other I will have more naturalistic approach with real dirt, and hopefully, I'm not really sure if this will work out, but this is the dirt that I have outside and these are the ants that I have outside, so without any problem they should be able to just dig through this dirt and make a nest of their own. Hopefully that will be on the edge so we can see it from the outside through the back, but even if they don't do that, it will still be fine. The enclosure with artificial nest should be super easy to set up, so we will start with that first. And after that we will have more fun with the naturalistic one. In case you're wondering how can I prevent ants from escaping this enclosure, you see all of these ventilation holes, they are big enough so ants can crawl outside. Also I have ventilation on top of the enclosure. When you are keeping ants, you are using a lot of this. This is talcum powder and you can use baby powder for the same effect. But anyhow, you mix this with alcohol and then smear it across the surface, and once the alcohol dries, it leaves this fine powder on the surface, and when ant tries to cross that surface, he falls off together with those tiny particles of talcum powder. That is the way you prevent escapes. So I just get a little bit of that, add some alcohol. I believe technically you can use water, but alcohol will evaporate quickly, so that is, I think, the only reason why you're mixing this with alcohol. I could be wrong though, maybe there is some other effect. And now we just paint, just like that. There we go, step one complete. Now I just placed the nest inside, but since the entrance, you see here, there's the entrance and you can see that it is raised a bit from the bottom, so I need to do like some sort of platform, and I will just grab a bit of cork bark and squeeze it underneath. That way the ants will easily go in and out. I mean, even without a ramp the ants would find a way to get inside, but I want to also in this video record how they move into that nest, so therefore I want to make it the easiest for them so they do it quicker. Can this fit underneath? It's a bit too narrow. This should be better. Yeah, now they have a nice ramp to get inside. Okay, excellent. Let me show you the colony that will go inside. These are the ones, and the main reason why I need to move them from this test tube is, look at this, all the water that was inside is actually gone, it evaporated. So therefore I definitely need to move them. Can you actually see them? Yeah, there we go. Here are the ants. Some fresh eggs here and also some older eggs that are kind of ready to hatch down there. And you see this one is actually trying to move the eggs. But anyhow, these are the forbidden ants and there is not that much of them. These two colonies are from the queen that I found last year, so this colony is less than a year old, so that's why there is not a lot of ants, but I'm expecting a boom pretty soon. I will actually grab a macro lens so you can see them better. Alright, this is now much better. You can see the eggs down there, the fresh eggs up here. I have no idea why they're so high up, but okay, whatever. Here are the ants moving around, and there is actually a lot of mold. This is also the reason why they need a quick rehouse. Can we see the queen down there? No, not really. She's kind of hiding. But we should be able to see her once they move her into a new nest. Anyhow, the talcum powder should be dry now, and we should be able to just put them inside. I mean, we should be able to release them inside of their new enclosure. All is left now is to remove the cotton that is blocking the entrance. And there we go. They are free to explore their new environment. It's awesome. Can I take the cotton out? There aren't any ants on it. No, it's fine. Now, if you were wondering how I will get them to move from this test tube into this artificial nest, that is actually pretty easy. The reason why I had the test tube inside of this aluminum foil, it is to create darkness for them, because you know they live underground and they don't really like to be outside. I mean, they don't want their nest to be exposed to outside light. That is why if you ever accidentally outside destroyed ant's nest, you could observe how they are quickly gathering all the eggs and they are moving them deeper inside of the darkness of their nest. If you check the nest in like 10-15 minutes, you will see that ants are gone. This is because they moved everything deeper inside of the untouched nest, and that is exactly what we are motivating here. Their nest is now exposed to light, and therefore they are now searching for a suitable place to relocate all of their eggs and queens, and the only place where they can do that is actually inside of this artificial nest. And if you're wondering, also you can see inside, so light is shining inside. That is where this red foil comes into play, because it actually creates darkness inside. Apparently they cannot see the red light, and therefore underneath this it is darkness for them. So in theory, once they spot that, they should move their entire nest inside. And that is what we are looking for. We will hopefully get that on a time lapse. Now I will set them aside and we will set up the naturalistic enclosure. Oh, wait. I didn't really expect this to happen so quickly, but you see this ant is already exploring the inside of the nest. And I'm assuming if he's satisfied with that, he will now go back to all of his buddies to report it to them, and maybe even before the time lapse they will actually start moving their nest. I don't know. Last time I was doing that, it took them a while to figure stuff out, so I don't know how quickly they will do it this time. Before applying the talcum powder, I actually want to fill this enclosure with dirt, because otherwise I would be risking damaging the barrier before I even get to use it. So that's why dirt comes first. And I will move it to the back, like this. Compress it just a little bit. I don't want to compress it too much. That way it will be easier for ants to dig. And now I will bring a couple of rocks, because in nature, I mean outside, I usually find fresh nests to be under rocks or under trees or something like that. It seems they prefer to start their nest under something, maybe because of humidity, or I'm really not sure, but we will give them the same opportunity here. A couple of these flat rocks should do the trick. There we go, this is it. Now I can apply the talcum. Oh, we have some foreign ant inside. And this is some bigger species, it is not the same one. He's already outside right there. He must be wondering, where the hell am I? Oh my god, I am completely lost. Sorry buddy, but your luck has run out. There is no way that you will find your way back home. Yeah, especially with all the spiders inside of the dark den. And I'm not talking about the ones inside of the enclosures. I'm talking about the ones that are outside, the native ones, you know. Okay, the talcum is dry and now we are ready to move them inside, and look. They are trying really hard to get out. They are almost at the edge of the cotton barrier. But don't worry guys, you're now going into much bigger area and you can explore as much as you want. I actually encourage it. So, pop. Oh no, I forgot to remove the foil. Oh no. Second. Are there any ants on the actual foil? Nope. All clear. Now you can go to town, yeah! Oh, this is now awesome. It will be super interesting to see which spot they will choose to build their new nest. I'm pretty sure under this big rock, that is the most logical place. Although, maybe in between these I don't know, we will see, hopefully in the time lapse. Also, I think there are more ants inside of this colony, but still I cannot spot the queen. Oh no, never mind, she's right there. Let me grab a macro lens so you can check her out. There we go, this is the queen, you see? In all her glory. Excellent. Look, they're already trying to relocate their eggs somewhere. And check how many eggs there are. So many eggs. And also there is a lot of small ones, small larvas. Oh, I'm pretty sure that this is a much healthier colony than the other one. At least there are more ants inside, that's for sure. For sure. Also, you see, all the water evaporated and also a lot of mold inside. But now they will build something better. You see how they are swarming the entrance, trying to figure out what is going on. I'm sure they will quickly do that. Oh, it's so hard to get them in focus. Okay, now I will set everything for the time lapse and let's hope for the best. Let's go! Unfortunately, I have terrible news. I don't know what, but something went wrong with talcum powder and the ants were somehow able to cross the barrier. They were just able to walk across it no problem, mostly in the corners. So maybe it is because of the silicone in the corner, because mostly I spotted them walking across the corners. So then I panicked and I quickly searched for some other solutions and I read that they cannot cross the olive oil barrier. So I did that. I quickly smeared the olive oil, you see, across the surface. But then what happened, that oil actually, I used it too much in the corners and then it dripped through the entire corner and saturating all the talcum around it. And regardless, ants were still crossing on it. So I was like, oh my God, what to do? And I also did it to this enclosure, even though it seemed like ants inside of this enclosure couldn't cross the talcum barrier. But still, I panicked, so I was like doing all the unnecessary stuff. And then the same thing happened to this enclosure. And once again, I observed ants crawling across. So I was like, oh no. And therefore, for this colony, I set up a plastic tub, you see. And thankfully, majority of ants seem to still be in test tube. But you see, they didn't move into this new nest, unfortunately. So I still need to wait for that. But inside of this test tube, which had great amount of ants, now it is basically empty and the queen is still inside and couple of ants, and I can see couple of ants crawling in the actual enclosure, but I think that this colony is toast unless the eggs hatch quickly and there will be enough new workers to sustain the colony. So the idea is, for now I will scratch the idea of glass enclosures since I'm not 100% certain that it works. I need to test it out and I will keep this colony inside of this plastic tub, while this colony I will release it outside and hopefully they will be able to survive. The only reason why I wanted to have two colonies of same species is to test out different setups, but now since this colony is failing, there is no reason to do that. And I still got the other colony over there, you see, in that, no, you cannot see, in that plastic tub, there is another colony with a different species, so I will still have two different colonies. Now we will go back to time-lapse and hopefully this colony will move into new nest, because I'm kind of running out of time. It is Thursday and you know, by Sunday I need to have video ready. So yeah, hurry guys, let's go. Unfortunately, the situation remained unchanged and therefore I decided to take their nest and cover it with fabric to make it even darker. And also I stirred up their nest to motivate them more, but they just brought back all the eggs on the old spot and didn't move at all. But at least I gave them this roach to feed them, and it was so fun to see them struggle trying to take it back into their nest. And you see they even split it in half in order to squeeze it past this fabric. no luck. It is Monday morning now and still nothing happened, so I just need to wrap this up and finish the video. For now I'll just keep them like this with this nest inside, and hopefully they will make a move. If they don't make the move, then I will give them some other nest. But anyhow, in the future I will let you know what happened with this. Now in regards to this naturalistic setup, all ants are gone, including the queen. But the thing is, I said that I will take them outside so they can go out. I didn't actually do that immediately, and the next day when I actually wanted to do that, they were gone. So that means that they moved the colony somewhere in the dark den, and even though on time-lapse I noticed a lot of commotion around that hole and they actually moved their eggs inside, I checked everywhere on the sides, but no ants could be found anywhere, so maybe they just temporarily moved their eggs down there, because if the ants were still outside, they would do some digging. I would see some dirt outside and I could see the ants scavenging the area, but no, for 2 days straight there is nothing inside. Ghost town. So there is that. If I ever spot a Lasius, I almost said the forbidden name, if I ever spot the forbidden ant in the dark den, I will just follow the ant entire day and hopefully he will bring me to where they actually move their colony, and that would actually be a fun video. So until next Monday, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday and sometimes on Friday. Actually this Friday there will be a bonus video. So see you on Friday. Bye.